So guys, like we will be starting with some of the basic and important rules for reading and reading writing blanks, or you can say the dictations as well, जो आपके लिए like exam में भी work करते हैं. Just try to note them down as maximum as you can. So we'll start with the basic formula for a sentence, that is SVO. Always remember this structure, like whether it's your dictation, repeat sentence, reading blanks, or whatever you're doing. So there you should be checking like the types of subjects, as you know that like there are three types of subjects, like singular, plural, and exceptional. So I'm just writing their names, like he, she, it, name, we, they, I, you, this, that, these, and those. Mostly these are like your subjects that come at the start of a sentence. And after that, if I say about their like verbs, the verbs that come, basically it's kind of there are five forms of verb that I basically tell to my students. It's like first form of the verb that always comes with to and modals are like can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would. Obviously if you want to take grammar classes, you can take the separate classes for that as well, but if you know about the modals, then you should be going wherever you see like there is a modal, like for the first form of the verb. Then obviously the second form of the verb, it comes without helping verb, like whenever you see that like Ram played cricket or something, so it will be without helping verb. So the main purpose over here, that why I am telling you, is that you should be continuing with the same tense. Like if it's the second form of the verb, obviously you should be going for the second form of the verb in the next sentence as well, most of the times. Like there is no has, have, had, will have in that. So the third form and the second form, they always carry most of the times what, like ed and ded, and same goes for the third form, ed and ded. But what's the difference between them? Like the third form always comes with these helping verbs, like we can say it's has, have, had, will have. And some of the forms for, you can say, the be key forms, like be, was, were. Whenever you see that, like this is a passive form of the tense, being and is and are. And the fourth form, it always comes like you can say ly ke baad bhi sometimes we get the 3D form of the verb. I mean ed or ded, constantly played, for an example, right? So it should be the third form. And if I talk about the fourth form of the verb, that comes usually with the ing in the end, and it has to be after like be, was, were, if it's a continuous tense, like if they're continuing it, except being, will not use being over here. Then we can go up to like some of the prepositions, like for, of. Always remember that there is a comma, there is a space after the comma. For, of, in, at, on, by, from, since, before, after, with, within. Then you can say like some of the conjunctions as well, like whether, while, further. Then instead of, they always carry like the fourth form, I mean ing. Despite of, despite of, both of them can be used. So let me put a bracket. And some of the verbs are also there, like start, stop, keep. So whenever you find like fourth form after a comma, suppose there is a sentence like that looks like SVO and there is a comma, then there is a blank. So after blank there is whatever written like SV or something. So mostly it's a noun, then it will be a fourth form of the verb that comes. I mean to say like after comma, if you see a blank, then most probably it will be a fourth form of the verb with ing. And the fifth form of the verb that carries s and es, it always comes with the singular subjects. Singular subjects as in like he, she, it, name, this, that, these, those. I guess I haven't written that. Yes, this, that as well. So you can use this as a reference whenever you are using a singular subject. Suppose if I gave you an example like the industries in the field of science. Till now, there is no verb that's coming for industries. If it comes, then it will be without s or es. Like the industries in the field of science are developing. We cannot say it's is developing because it's not for science. The verb it's used for industries because subject is always coming at the start, and these are connected with the prepositions. Like nouns are always connected with the prepositions. I'll let you know later on. The industries in the field of science are developing very enormously. Just an example. So you can say over here like industries is the subject, and whenever you see like in, of, these are prepositions which are used to connect two nouns basically, and always the form of the verb like industries ki form jo hogi, that will be are developing something. Like you have to find what is the next verb of there. So if I continue this enormously to work on their processes, suppose. And always remember the nouns cannot come in the singular form without an article. If it's an article, then also like we should be thinking that it's a singular noun. Otherwise, it should be a plural noun without an article. Like the work over here, to work, it's also a verb, but it's used for two. So mostly we can say that verbs are used mostly for the for what we are using it, like for the subjects and some prepositions. Obviously, again, for the grammar classes, you can join my classes so that you can get some grammar tips and tricks. Again, these are tips, like if you can follow them, these will help you out. But still, if you need the more deep grammar knowledge, you can obviously take classes and call on my number. And apart from that, if I say like there are certain other tricks that I'll be using for the helping verbs, there are certain helping verbs that I use like do, does, did, will. These are for present. Then if I mean like the indefinite ones, if I use for the continuous form, like it should be is, am, are, was, were, and will be. And if I talk about the present ones, like I mean the perfect ones, has, have, had, and will have, they should be used as a like the perfect ones, because over here if I say always, they carry the third form of the verb, and they are used to carry the fourth form of the verb, and they are using like the different forms like 5 to 1. 5 means like in the present indefinite, second form in the past indefinite, and future indefinite it uses the first form. Like as you know that like will is also a modal, so it always carry the first form of the verb. So make sure that you are going to put not the wrong forms of the verb, always put the correct forms. And after that, like if I say there is another formula that you can be using, it's SVO. Like if you get anything in between subject and verb, like there can be only three things. The very first one, it's your modals. The second one could be helping verbs, and the third one should be adverbs. Mostly the adverbs come, like if in case I talk about Ram is playing cricket, so over here it's a, you can say what, it's a kind of helping verb. And if I say like Ram can play cricket, and what is this? It is a kind of the thing that we are using like just for Ram can play cricket. It's a modal. And the last one that I'll be using, it's Ram continuously plays cricket. So this is something that we should be using. So these are like the three things that comes between a subject and verb. Like it's your modals, helping verbs, and adverbs as well. Like if you're using modals, obviously modals ke baad first form, and helping verbs like that may depend. If it's has have, then obviously third form. And if it's is, am, are, or it should be like third form and the fourth form as well. And adverbs mostly carry like ed, but I will not say always, but mostly, right? So Ram continuously plays cricket. Sometimes it can be Ram continuously played cricket as well. So this is something that we should know about, like subject and verb, that what can come in between them. And one more thing that we should be remembering, that it's a subject. Then subject always carries, you can say like a noun mostly, and it should be 90%. It's a noun. And if I count like it's 10%. In case of 10%, it should be your pronoun as well. That comes on the place of a noun. Like if I say Ram, then it could be he as well. That will be helping you in your reorder paragraphs, obviously. And mostly this thing helps like in your reorder paragraphs. And apart from that, if I say like verb, I've already told you, like there are five forms of the verb. Like if you are an Indian student, obviously I can tell you one more trick to find a verb. Like you can add na if it sounds like na. Like if I say play means khelna, see means dekhna, write means likhna, take lena, whatever the verb you are getting in your brain or in front of you, if it carries na in the end, obviously it's a verb. Or you can add what, like ing in the end. Agar wo sound karta hai, obviously it's a verb, right? Then if I say about object is basically 90% again, like we can say it's a noun. And in case of 8%, like it can be an adjective as well. Like I'll give you the examples. And 2% cases may it can be an adverb as well, right? For an example, if I say Ram, just a simple example, plays cricket. So Raju, can you tell me like what's cricket here should be? Yes, Raju, I'm asking you like what cricket should be here.
Noun, sir.
It's a noun, very good. And what I talk about good,
Verb, verb, sir. A good boy.
good. It's not like a verb. It's a kind of adjective. Like I'll be letting you know the tips to like how to find adjective as well. And effortlessly, it carries ly. It should be an adverb. So I can say that like 90% noun, 8% adjectives, and 2% are adverbs that are coming at the end of any sentence sometimes, right? And then the next task, like next trick that I'll be letting you know, it's about the parts of a speech, which is very important in order to do your reading blanks. And you can also say dictations as well. Like if I say there are nouns, there are verbs, there are adjectives, there are adverbs, there are conjunctions, and there are prepositions that come mostly. So if I say noun, like noun, it's mostly like you can say it's checked with good or bad. Like if I add good or bad before any word, if it sounds me better, obviously it's a noun. Like good speech, good part, bad part. Or also you can check a noun by the articles. If you see any article a and or the anywhere, it means like there is a noun. So how we'll find noun? Like if I say like it's a boy, then I can easily find like a boy is a noun because it's boy which is a name of something. So you can also say like noun is also found by checking the names of something, a boy, or it can be also like that, a good boy. So after a it is good. So I cannot say like it's a noun because good is used before boy. And how do I recognize in the right side? It's the left side technique. The right side technique should be preposition. It should be connected with a preposition. If it's connected with a preposition, and if you see that there is an article, obviously you will be going good with that, and you will find your answers. Like again for verbs, if I say I'm sorry, the next trick, if I say for a noun, it should be a very good boy as well, in which a is an article, boy is a noun, good is its adjective, and very will be its adverb. I'll let you know later on. And verbs I've already told you, like there are five forms. Adjectives, they can be checked by adding very before any word. If you find that there is any word like that sounds better by adding very, then obviously it's a noun. For an example, curious and curiosity. So I can say like it's very curious. It cannot be good curious. It can be good curiosity. If it sounds me better, like then obviously it's a noun. Curiosity and curious is an adjective. And apart from that, there are some suffixes as well that you can check for nouns like shun, meant, ity, or, er, our, ance, ence, ism, ist. So these are some kind of the suffixes. Suffixes are basically used at the end of a word, like dentist, autism, mechanism, independence, chance, glamour, teacher, doctor, quantity, management, education, or something like. Same goes for the adjectives. Adjectives are used with the help of some suffixes like able, ous, cal, al, ive, and here you can also add ness, N-E-S-S. I'm sorry, I didn't tell. So like talkable, continuous, identical, physical, talkative, something like ish, like greenish, bluish. So these are also adjectives. Sometimes we can also get some adjectives with ed and ing if they come before a noun, because adjectives, as I told you, mostly follow a noun. If an example, like it should be interested man. Over here, I can say like man is a noun, but interested is not a verb, because a verb cannot come before a subject. It always comes after a subject. So interested will be its adjective. And how do we check it? Very interested man. As I told you, like very before a word, if it sounds better, obviously it's an adjective. So interested man, yes, this is one of the techniques that I'm using. And mostly they are following a noun, so they can come anywhere, because noun can come anywhere in between a sentence. And then if I go for the adverbs, adverbs are what, like mostly they are checked by simple technique, that is by using ly. If you get ly after any word at the end, I mean, then obviously it's an adverb. Mostly it is used to follow, mostly following a verb and an adjective. And conjunctions, like obviously they are used to connect two sentences, or two words as well. Like some of the techniques that I use, it's like fanboys, where it says for and not but or yet so. And again, if I say like there can be some of the tricks like a, b, s, f. It's as, because, since, for. And sometimes we can also check it by using what, like while, however, although, and though. And again, we can check it out by using some of the technique for never busy that I use. It's like you can say nevertheless, but, still, yet. So these are some of the conjunctions that can be used in between. And one more is there, like t-shirt. It's therefore, since, or so you can say, hence, and thus. So these are kind of like the different conjunctions that we'll be using in between a sentence or in between a word. And prepositions, obviously, like some of the words that are used to connect the nouns. To nouns mostly. Like for an example, I cannot say brother Ram. It should be brother of Ram. Or I can say like table, ground. I cannot say like that. I can say table on the ground. And always make sure that you're going to use the proper articles like a and the. This is one of the last techniques that I'll be letting you know. A is used with a consonant sound, and it's used with a vowel sound of obviously any word that comes after that. And the last one, it's the, that usually comes with a particular thing. that has already been talked about. जिस चीज के बारे में ऑलरेडी बात हो चुकी है तो वी यूज दिस एंड दिस इज मोस्टली यूज्ड विद द reordered paragraphs. Like this is one of the techniques that is good for you for your reading blanks as well, and most oftenly for your dictations, right? So these are some of the rules that I would recommend everyone to please follow these rules. And if you don't know, or if you don't know how to do them, you can directly call me on my number. Obviously it's on the screen. You can call me and just follow our channel, that is Ayush PT Elixir, so that you can get to know like how to do them, right? It's everything that I have uploaded over here. You can check my whatever like playlist I have created. You can check a lot of things that are helpful for you. So these will help you a lot in your exam. But still, if you have any doubts, guys, like I'll be asking you to please call me again. Or you can also take the physical classes as well. We have the PG services available for the interstate students or who are coming to our location, that is VIP Colony Ladwa. So you can come and visit us and feel the difference and clear your exam in just 15 or 20 days, maximum 1 month. And I'll not be taking more time of yours, just like an institute. So these are personal classes. So thank you so much for being in this video. Still, if you have any doubt, comment me in the comment section below. Thank you so much and have a good day, guys.